Today I'm gonna be recreating the famous teriyaki chicken fried rice pineapple bowls. Cooking with Kari, cooking with Kari. If you're new here, I like to start off with my seasonings. If you're not, then you know. So today we're going garlic and herb seasoning, onion powder, Tony's Creole, jerk, and some hoisin sauce, and some parsley as well. So I took me some chicken tenders, y'all. The store ain't have nothing for real. They ain't had no chicken breasts, no chicken thighs, no nothing, because it was Easter Sunday, and apparently I was the only one that didn't make it to the store on time. So yeah, I took me some chicken tenders and I went ahead and cleaned them with lemon juice, pat them dry, and then I started to cut my chicken up into little cubes. But if y'all know, I got a story time for y'all while we cook, so let's get into it. Today we're gonna be talking about the time I drove a boat at 14, y'all. So this was a very fun experience to me. I definitely would do it again and again and again. Like, what? I was 14 driving a boat. You can't tell me nothing. Like, boy, what? I mean, I was having too much fun out there. So, y'all, this was during the summertime, and it was literally like in the middle of the summer. I was 14, and I had went to these cabins with my grandma or whatever. And so we had got on the boat. And they was just like, persons driving the boat must be 14 and older. Lucky for me, I had just turned 14 that summer. I'm like, yes. And then, mind y'all, like to this day, nobody will let me drive their cars. Nobody trusts me with their car. Don't nobody let me drive their car. I never been allowed to drive nobody's car, right? So them giving me permission to drive the boat, I was already ecstatic, because this was not just a thing that just occurred all of a sudden, you know? People been not trusting me with driving anything before I was the age. They didn't trust me before. I didn't even get a chance. Man, I didn't even get a chance to turn 16, 17. They just ain't trust me beforehand. I was just not trusted. But y'all, take all your seasonings that I listed in the beginning and go ahead and put those in there. Excuse the black pepper. I don't think that I had used that black pepper, but if I did, I did. Y'all ain't gotta use too much spices. Like the jerk and the black pepper, that's extra, because keep in mind that Tony's Creole seasoning is already a little spicy. Okay, but anywho, so yeah, we get onto the boat, and I didn't start off driving, but then they was like, you want to drive the boat? And I'm like, I can drive the boat. They're like, you want to drive the boat? I'm like, I can drive the boat. Right? So then boom, I'm like, yeah, I want to drive the boat. I couldn't wait, y'all. I was too ecstatic to get behind the wheel of anything, period. Like, the only thing that I could drive at the time was a bike. That's how my chicken looking, real marinated. There I go, mixing it up, no love in it. Don't talk about me. Yeah, I don't put no love into my food, but it still tastes good. And what? But anywho, yeah, mix your chicken up, and we finna get ready to go ahead and do some rice before we cook the chicken, because y'all know the rice gonna cook faster. And I like to cook my rice in the microwave, so I just take the boiling the bad rice, I put one peck inside a bowl, and then I fill it to the top with water, and then I put it on 8 minutes inside the microwave. I don't know if 8 minutes is the right time, to be honest. I don't be reading the back of the box, but that's what I do, and it worked for me, so it might work for you too. But yeah, back to the story. So they let me get behind the wheel of the boat, and they was like, okay, change the gear, because I can't remember exactly what the gears was on the boat, but it wasn't in drive. So they was like, change the gear to drive. So I didn't know at first to put it in drive slowly. So I shifted the gear fast, and it kind of like threw everybody's body forward. Like the boat went forward real fast, but it was like, you know, we in water, so it kind of like seemed like he was about to tip over, you know. And everybody like y'all already know, when you do something wrong behind the wheel of anything, everybody was like, whoa. Everybody was doing that, and then I was like, oh, I didn't know what. They was like, no, slowly. So if they said slowly, I got it. And then from there, it was kind of smooth sailing until we came upon a part that was like, I can't remember if it was a tree or something, but I know it got a little shallow, and you know, you don't want the boat to stop. So they started guiding me through that part, and then also it was a bridge, y'all, and I don't think the boat was able to fit up under the bridge, and we had to turn around. But you know, I had it under control though. I was out there doing my thing. And y'all, this is me cutting my pineapple open. When you cut your pineapple, you want to make sure that you got you a real good knife. See me, I have a real good knife in my hand. It's very sharp. It is small, but it's sharp enough to do what it need to do. You need a good knife, something that's gonna glide directly through the pineapple. If I'm being honest, cutting the pineapple open is the easy part. It's scraping the pineapple up out the pineapple. That's the hard part. Like, boy, when I say it took me like a cool 20 minutes to scrape the pineapple up out of it, man, scraping the pineapple is not for the weak, because it's hard. Like, it's a real hard, chunky fruit. so it's a little harder to scrape it up out of it. But y'all see, I started to get bits and pieces, but I don't know, that's something I'm gonna have to work on. Y'all see, I tried to cut around it and just scoop all of it out. That ain't how it work. You gotta take it slow. So that part might take you a little while, but I did it, period. And it's okay that I left some in mine, because boy, this food with a little pineapple on the side ain't never hurt. Like this meal, this one of my favorite things to eat, y'all. I mean, and you can bust it down with some yum yum sauce and everything. I'm so mad, y'all. I bought yum yum sauce and forgot to put it on my dish. But anywho, my rice was done, so I just cut the bag open and I poured in a bowl and I let that be that. That's it for now until we start to fry our rice. But y'all, okay, back to the story. So we was on a boat. I can't remember how long, but I know it was very much over an hour, or at least it felt like it was. And it was a hot summer day, but it was cool because we was in the water, so you felt a little wind. And I was just having so much fun driving that boat, because who you know drives a boat at 14? Right here, these are frozen veggies. I did not want frozen veggies. I wanted fresh veggies, but I had to work with what I got. So I got frozen, and it said on the bag to place it in a pan. If you're gonna do it on the stove top, put it in the pan. And it said I think it said do like 1/3 or 1/4 of water, something like that. I don't do all the measurements, so I took me 3 full spoons with this red spoon out the kitchen drawer, and I poured it up over the veggies, and then I let it sit. So after it started to like get hot or whatever, they did start to steam and get softer, and I ain't gonna lie, they was smelling pretty good to have been frozen vegetables. So yeah, that was the good thing for me. But the only thing with this is you don't want your veggies to be wet or like sitting in water when it's time to pour it inside your rice. So I had to take me a spoon, and I had to get my rice out with a spoon with some holes in it to kind of like drain the water, to put it on top of a plate so that I didn't have no water left in it, because I couldn't put it in a strainer because the corn and stuff would have fell through. So here I took me a big block of butter, and then I cook my chicken in butter all the time. So yeah, I just cooked that over the stove in butter, and it don't take too long to be done. I want to say it probably took maybe less than 15 minutes for this chicken to be done, and I had my stove turned up really, really high as well. But anywho, yeah, it didn't take long for my chicken to be done. When my chicken was done, y'all gonna see, because it was like, yeah, this is when my chicken is done, because look at the bottom of the pan. And then I got me some teriyaki sauce by Kikkoman. Ain't that who Noodles by? I think that's who Noodles be by too. But yeah, that's the type of teriyaki sauce I had. And then for my rice, I had black pepper, toasted sesame seed oil, garlic powder, soy sauce, and of course the rice. And this is how we're gonna begin to fry our rice. And I'm gonna give y'all a little tip. Everybody be thinking soy sauce is what fries the rice a lot. No, it's the toasted sesame oil. Get you some toasted sesame oil, have it on hand. I never have known about toasted sesame oil until I started making like bourbon chicken and General Tso's chicken and stuff like that. That stuff is the best thing ever. It makes a big difference in your food. Like, I remember the first time I used it, I was like, did I just make Chick-fil-A nuggets? Like, these told myself for real. But yeah, y'all, add all 4 of those in there, and then you just basically let it sit, move it from time to time. You just fry your rice over the stove top. Basically the same way that you fry your chicken, just fry your rice that way. And it turned out really, really good. But that was my first time ever on a boat, and I had a lot of fun. After we went back inside the cabins or whatever, I didn't know that I was the type to be motion sick. So like when I would try to sleep and stuff, I would feel like I was on the boat again, and I would hop up. I'm to my scared out my mind. And y'all, for the teriyaki sauce, you can pour it in the pan with all your stuff, or you can just pour it on your chicken. Me personally, I just poured it on my chicken and I shook it up, and then I poured my chicken into the rice and the veggies. But you can pour it over whichever way that you prefer. That's how you can do it. I didn't want the teriyaki sauce to be OD, but like, I mean, it's touching all the other stuff anyway, but I just didn't want it to be OD, you know. But y'all, I definitely do that again. I actually do want to drive a boat again. It was super fun. It's just the motion sickness for me. Like, I kept feeling like I was moving when I was not moving throughout the day and stuff. But I think that stuff just come with like getting used to. But from this point forward, y'all, it's pretty self-explanatory, and that's that toasted sesame oil I was just telling y'all about. Go get you some. You better go get that. I'm telling you, it's gonna make a big difference. And I was just mixing all my stuff in. It was so beautiful and just vibrant. and I really loved the way that it turned out, because I didn't even think that I was capable of making fried rice for real. Because I've watched so many videos on how to make fried rice, but I also think it's because I cooked my rice beforehand. And yeah, from that point forward, build everything, and build everything and put it inside your pineapple bowl, and you done from that point forward. And like I said, I had some yum yum sauce and I forgot to put it on the meal. I'm so mad, y'all. A whole thing of yum yum sauce just wasted because I forgot to put it on the meal. And trust, by the time this video is posted, baby, that pineapple bowl is good as gone. But yeah, from this point forward, you pretty much done. Just keep watching this video if you want to see my honest opinion on how the food came out. And look at you watching me make this pineapple bowl and still ain't subscribed. Man, I thought we was friends. But anyway, let's get into how these pineapple bowls tasted. Okay, y'all, so I can finally eat. And so my favorite thing about these is that it's literally sitting on the inside of my favorite fruit. Like pineapples, I love pineapples so much, y'all. I literally be having to stop myself from eating them, because you know if you eat too much, your tongue and stuff will swell. But let's get into the main dish, see how it tastes. This is my first time making fried rice, so let's see. Only thing I didn't do was put egg in it. Okay, y'all, so in my opinion, this tastes like the fried rice that they sell already made up, that you cook over the stove, but with more seasoning. Way more seasoning. And my chicken is way better, y'all. But my first time making fried rice, it came out actually really, really good. And I did not want these frozen vegetables, but I had to work with what I got. So it did turn out, it turned out pretty good, y'all. And when you get some of that pineapple in it, it tastes so good when I scrape some of that pineapple up in the food with it. Y'all, it's really just like a win-win for me, because this is literally my favorite fruit. Yeah, the pineapple, you scoop some of that pineapple up in it, it tastes a little sweet too. So I guess you call this a pineapple chicken and rice bowl, I guess. I don't know, y'all, but it definitely turned out amazing. Y'all know I be seasoning some food, so it ain't never gonna be bland. But it's nothing, it's actually better than I expected. So I give everything a 10 this time, y'all. My presentation to the taste, I give everything a 10. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and stay tuned for my next episode.